morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. First of all, we want to say welcome to this, I would say, live slash podcast. That's going to be posting later. So if you go to the podcast, it's not there. But welcome to everyone that is following. We are talking about coffee and conversation. I wish I had that flyer to put on the back.
Yeah.
Coffee and conversation with my husband, my baby daddy, my boyfriend. We are doing this on New Destiny YouTube page as well as my business page. Just to kind of have this conversation that we want to start off doing every first of the month at 6:30 a.m. where we talk about real life, real issues, and with real people and all that great stuff. Also, where we talk about life, love, marriage, ministry, and money. So we're talking about that during these sessions and during this conversation. Just kind of stuff we already do together. Early morning conversations that Bishop and I have. We decided we did it years ago, so we decided to capitalize it and make it better by coming and doing a coffee and conversation. And so this way we just talk and just drink our coffee and just allow others to be a part of the conversation with us with some hot topics that
Yeah.
we want to discuss. And at the end, we'll kind of ask you guys to kind of send us questions that we would love to come and answer. But to our new Desi family, what's up? What's up? We did this for you guys because we always talking about business, always talking about, ministry and money and all that stuff on other platforms. But we wanted to come in and talk to you guys as well as Tanya Harden Ministry page. All right. So with that said, Bishop, you want to just rock in or how you want to do this?
Hey, I want to first of all, I want to chime in on what you said. Yeah, like you said, we are literally, God has blessed us to kind of spread our wings. And one thing to my wife, I thank God for my wife. She has done a good job at putting us out there in the social media world, and really, we realize God has blessed us with social media as an opportunity to share His message and go abroad, right? But we do realize that there are a group of people who don't follow us on our business pages, don't follow us on other platforms, who are literally in the church world, and they're following us just on the church world. So we don't want to forget about you. This is our way to come and minister to you where you are, and kind of like I say, my wife said, deal with some real topics, from real people who trying to have a real relationship with God. And we have a lot of things we're going to talk about on this platform. And so I pray that you have your coffee, and I'm intentionally, showing my new
I
destiny.
know. I didn't even realize I had my new Destiny cup.
I'm
Come
intentional.
on.
So this is so what you expect. We're gonna be real. We're gonna be real. If you get ready for work, throw your AirPods in. We
Yeah.
listen. If you walking out the door, getting your exercise in, turn the volume up. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. One thing we're gonna promise you on this one is that we're gonna be real. We're gonna deal with stuff that's gonna deal with your mind, help motivate you, and
Hmm.
give you our perspective on how we came out of it. If we never came out of it, we can't help you with it. If we're, still praying about it, we can't deal with it.
Right.
We're gonna deal with real issues. So today, you want to tell them what the topic is going to be today, or you want me to tell them the topic?
You can tell them. You can tell them the topic that we're going to talk about, and I'll make sure I try to type it in too, Bishop.
Listen, whenever we were talking about this and we was praying, and I said, what do I think is a good topic to kick off our first coffee and conversation with Clyde and Tanya. And how long we're talking for, baby? We didn't even talk about how long we're
Oh
gonna be.
no, we're just gonna rock out like however you want to do it, sir.
So the first thing we want to talk about, listen, I realize one of the greatest challenges of this era that I'm noticing everywhere. And I do believe, and listen, I learned to appreciate social media, but I do believe it's because of social media and people having so much access to us. And I think one of the greatest things that we have to overcome is people's opinion. People opinion. Man, I think baby, this is me telling you, I don't think I've ever noticed, and people really, in the past years, so worried about what other people think.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, why do you think that is? Before we go into it and get into the solutions, why do you think people opinions matter so much now? Because I don't think that was the case years ago.
I think it was. I think it was the case years ago, but it's more loud than it was, before that. I think it was the case because of the comparison of people. We
Mm-hmm.
compare ourselves to people, or the perception of what people think about us becomes our business, right? I believe that happens. I also believe that when it comes down to the opinions of others, we want to really make sure that everybody like us. I know I was like that. I'm gonna speak for myself. I wanted everybody to like me. Like, what's the song? Do you like me? Do I like her? Like me for who?
I don't know that song.
Oh, okay, never mind. Never mind. I forgot you super saved. So yeah, do you like me? So do you like me? It's like I think people we got to a point to where we wanted everybody to like us. We wanted everybody, to validate us, to appreciate us. All of those things. I just believe that was the case when it comes to people's opinions. It was like, okay, you think I'm this way, okay, I need to change that about me. Or
Yeah.
you think I'm this, or you think I'm mean, okay, I'm gonna do everything I can to be mean, and now I can't sleep at night because you just told me that I was mean, or you just told me that I was, too big, or I talked too much, or whatever you thought that went against what I thought I was doing right.
Mm-hmm.
I got a problem with that. So I think that's what it was. I know for me, I'm just speaking for me. I don't know about nobody
When I
else.
sit back and I think about it, when I think about me back in the days, coming up in school, matriculating through life when in the first part of life, right?
Hmm.
I think, and if you're out there and you're listening and you have some thoughts on why do you think it's so important about how people think about people right now, kind of just throw your answers out there as well. But when I think about me, I think about back then. I think about that I was busy, and I remember a lot of people was busy comparing themselves to other people. I need that car.
Hmm.
I need that. I need the house. I need those clothes. You
Hmm.
know, they're driving that. And I think it was more of a local comparison, and
Hmm.
it wasn't so much. You got smaller circles. At school or smaller circles. I think the school was the hardest part. But once you got out of school, you got into work life. I don't believe adults would hold you accountable as much as we held ourselves accountable.
True.
I think right now social media has opened it up to where this is the key word. Um, Not only are we comparing ourselves to everybody, everybody is comparing us at the same time. And it's like,
Yeah.
even as me as a pastor, I want to talk about that here in a second. How even as me as a pastor, I started comparing myself to other pastors.
That's good. Oh, wait, let me pause the part. First of all, we want to say hello, welcome everybody that is joining. Thank you so much for rocking out with us this morning in our coffee conversation. Me and Bishop just chopping it up and just talking about overcoming people's opinions and all that. We're trying something new. Want to come live. Our goal is to come live every first Monday of the month. That's the goal. That's what we're trying to do. If I can get him on, yes, we come early in the morning because we early birds. We move. We got businesses. We got things to do. So I gotta grab him as soon as I can. But I want to go to that because you said something so important, like going back
Hmm.
about pastors comparing, with pastors. I think that's a statement that most people don't want to say. You find yourself, even as leaders, as pastors, comparing yourself to other pastors when you understanding that what God has given you to do is enough, you
Yeah.
know, as a leader, as a pastor. I think that's great information. Great information.
I think what happened, baby, and you can help me on this. I think what happened was somewhere somebody have set the bar,
Okay.
where they set the bar for how a woman should look. They set the bar how how much money we should make. They set the bar for what we should be driving. Somebody somewhere should have set the bar, and now the two things we're fighting to meet
Hmm.
that bar, and people literally we're feeling judged if we don't. So even if
Mm,
our bar is over here, this is what we should be doing. We can't comfortably do that. I can't comfortably, one thing I just I'm impressed with our Caucasian America, a lot of people because I see them moving on a property with a camper trailer,
mm-hmm,
and it'd be a nice big property camper trailer, and you'll see them, with a tent outside, and they'll slowly build a house over 10 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though that's what God's vision is for me,
Uh-huh.
I feel, or we feel, listen to me, if that's not you, maybe not you, but we feel that we have to hurry up and build a house so we can
Mm-hmm.
hurry up and hurry up and build a house, hurry up and meet the standard
Mm-hmm.
of everyone else, even though God's plan for us was to pace ourselves.
That's it.
And we sit back over here, and if people's opinion of me, I got to hear up and catch up people's opinion, so I don't feel pressured. As a pastor, I got to hear up and build a mega church. As a husband, I got to make sure my wife drives this kind of car. I feel like somewhere, I don't know what happened, and I feel like in the past, if someone drove a car, man, I want that car. That was
Mm-hmm.
me challenging me to do what you do. Now I feel like everyone has this big old expectation that we're allowing them to put on us. What do you think?
I do. I believe, and it's not their fault. Can we pause and park and say that? Come here, every listener. If you believe that it is not someone else's fault that you allow their opinions to become your reality, I dare you to heart it up. Put the number 1 on the screen if you're listening. Though, okay, it might be too early for you. That's okay. Just heart it up. But because I see your likes and all that. But heart it up. It's not that person's fault, but it's ours because we're the ones that take on the responsibility of everyone else's opinion, or we take on the reality of other people's opinion.
Yeah.
So I think that, go ahead.
That's it. And I know I'm getting to the answer here in a second. But for us to get to the answer, we have to admit that piece there that it's not reality.
Right.
It is a made up bar that we have embraced. And
Right.
those people who are able to build the house with the camper trailer over 5 years have ignored the bar.
Ooh, listen.
They've ignored the bar. Those
Yeah.
people who can drive a paid for car while everybody else driving brand new cars have
Mm-hmm.
ignored the bar. So we already getting to that point. How do we overcome people's opinion? We kind of slowly slipping there, but before we can slip there, we got to understand that it's real. And I
Right.
wanna tell my testimony is that I never forget the reason why I'm not on social media right now. The reason why I'm not on social media, and even though I'm on social media, right?
Yes, he is. Come on.
And listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. First of all, let's stop that. Don't feel as though you got to lie if you're not on social media or if you're on. That's still that people's opinion. You feel like you got to build up perception that I'm not on something that billions of people are on, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my testimony as a pastor, and I hope that if you're out there as a pastor, I had to get off because I would get on social media and either feel like a hero because my service looked greater than everyone else's service
Come
that I
on,
saw,
Bishop.
or feel like a zero because everyone else's service looked better than mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I would get so angry. Listen to this, y'all gonna laugh. If someone posted a picture of the chair that was empty in the church, and man, I would get so
Oh,
mad.
that's so real talk. Wait. Listen. Heart it up. Look, if you're trying to take a picture.
You caught the wrong angle. Don't catch
Yes.
that angle no more. If you're gonna take a picture, don't go upstairs and take a picture. Catch the angle where the 10 people, and you missed all them. Because I feel like now, even if I thought I was a success, now my picture look like it's not a success.
Come on, Glory.
And I got to the point where I realized, and I would know for a fact. Hear me right here. I want you to, if you're taking notes right here, or if you want to take notes later, make sure you come back to this point at whatever time we have at 14 minutes and 13 seconds. If you want to truly understand this, is that I knew what God told me to do. I knew I was doing what God told me to do.
Come on, Bishop.
But and so I would abandon I know I preached a sermon. I got through and I preached a sermon that God told me to preach him. Or listen, in your case, maybe you bought the car. You love that car.
Mm-hmm.
And now you looked at everybody else and they got a different model. And now you come back home looking at your car like, oh.
Come on.
Oh, remember this, baby. Remember this. I remember, and I know I'm jumping around, but listen, it's so important.
Look, I feel like I'm sipping on tea right now.
I
Like
remember,
you sharing all the tea, all the juices for every church leader, pastor. And I don't want to just make it about
I'm
that.
gonna come home.
That's
I'm gonna come
anybody.
home.
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna come home.
Okay.
I remember, I'm gonna come to your front door. I'm gonna come to your bedroom.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm gonna come to your marriage. I remember getting a brand new house and hearing up, trying to furnish it getting in debt, trying to put couches, brand new decorations, everything, hurrying up so we can visit, invite people over to the housewarming party. And after the housewarming party, we look in the house like, okay, now what?
Now what? Listen. Wait, pause, because I want to talk to people listening out there. I dare you to hard it up. Put the number. Maybe that wasn't you. That was your cousin. Them. Going to put the number one. Like you. That didn't happen to where we go broke trying to have the opinions of others being okay with our move that either God told us to do and we're not okay with it. And it's a moment of not having gratitude, but getting everybody else to appreciate where God has brought you. That's even at home, getting people to appreciate what God has brought you. And that is so not the case.
Getting a brand new car and driving it through the neighborhood. And once you make that first, once everybody saw the car that you went and got, that you went and purchased, that you thought everyone would love, after they saw it and gave you accolades, now you got to live with what you just did.
And here's the thing: I want to park and say this. Listen, even though that happened, because it's natural. Can somebody say it's natural?
No.
Let me say this. No, Bishop. I want to say this because it's normal, not natural. Okay, let me say that. It's normal to get a vehicle and go and ride around and let everybody know that your vehicle is here because you want the opinions of others to think that all is well and don't realize that you just dropped a good $3-4 grand just to get that vehicle. You know what I'm saying?
That you didn't have.
That you didn't really probably have. But it's okay though. I want to say this, that it's okay, but it's not okay when you want the opinions of others to be where you are. And I think the reason why we can talk about this, because Bishop, we done been there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We've been there. I've been there to the car that I have now. I didn't even drive around. I was so appreciative. I was like, Lord, I say thank you. So appreciative. But I know a time that I would have drove around. But
it's okay if you know God told you to get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you did something you wanted, but it's not okay if you only did it so you can get those accolades. If you standing there in the car lot, if you standing there with that dress and you can't even think about how you're going to enjoy it, thinking about what people are going to think about it, what people are going to say about it, that's not for you.
Come on.
You can't even pick the car and you're like, man, I really want this car, but what they going to say? What they going to say? What they going to think? How they going to see this? You can't even enjoy it. Because even if you do get it and you love it, if someone else don't love it, you won't love it no more.
Right.
So I think the thing is, so this is what I want to bring up. So I think before in the past, baby, I think we compared ourselves to people.
Yes.
It's a one-on-one game.
Yes, we've compared ourselves to marriages. We have compared ourselves to ministries. We have compared ourselves. Look, the topics I always talk about. We compared ourselves to other people's lives. We have compared ourselves to other people's money, aka counting other people's money, thinking that that we don't have enough or we're not where we are. And I think that's the reason why, because this was one of Bishop's topics. So I think we're gonna kind of switch out on topics and stuff. But I'm loving this. You loving this?
I am.
I'm loving it.
You know the worst part about it though, baby? And I'm gonna throw this in there while you keep going. I'm gonna throw this in there. And we comparing ourselves to fake pictures.
Oh, Jesus on the main line. Come here. And we compare ourselves to a post that was only for a moment. We've done that. We can only tell you from our experience that this is something that we've done. But I think it was in 2018. Okay, look, that wasn't that long ago. To where I know for me it was 2015, but I think together as a marriage, 2018, to where we really started the journey. Oh, can somebody type journey? It's a journey. Yeah, it's not a journey of overcoming. This is not an area. I asked the Lord to free me from people. That was back in 2010. He started the journey in 2010 of him freeing me from people. But in order for God, come here, let me talk to you. In order for God to free you from people, there was some stretching moments and there was some hurtful moments that I had to experience so that I could really understand how people really were. And so when I asked God that, I did not know what I was asking for, but what I realized that in the journey of asking him, my journey began. And that's when things started happening. And I started doing ministry and I started doing different things. But in 2005 is when I really got to a point to where I no longer wanted to be put in the box. So it's a journey. I want to stop there. I don't even want to get caught up in the greatness of it. But I want to start there, is that free me from people was my beginning. But it wasn't until 2019. Now get the numbers, 2010 and 2018 is when I said, you know what? I'm going to live life regardless of what somebody else have to say about it and regardless of their opinions of me. You may like me, you may not like me, and I hate that fact, but if you have not spent, come here, type this. If you have not spent 48 hours with me, you don't know me.
And I don't owe you.
I don't owe you anything. You don't know me. If you don't spend, if somebody has not spent, let me talk to this camera. If somebody has not spent 48 hours, that's almost 2 days, full, a whole full 2 days with you, they do not know you. They don't know you to have an opinion about you.
No.
And it's learning that. But again, it's still a journey today. I keep it real. It's still a journey today because you're human. And you're like, okay, wait a minute, what did I do? And you got to do a self-talk too, and looking, making sure your hands are clean when it comes to people. How do you know if your hands are clean? When you know that you've done everything that you can. If you had a bad day and they got mad at you because of that one bad day, that's on them. That's not on you. You don't know me. You don't know that right now I'm going through some stuff and I didn't mean anything by that. You got to know my heart. So I think it's learning that too. So overcoming opinions is a journey.
It is.
I want to add that that's a journey. It don't happen overnight. It's a I think it's a continuous journey.
And it's harder now because people can now visualize people's opinion.
Oh, wait, Paul, wait, you can't just say that. They can. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Before people couldn't really visualize. You would just conceptualize. You was kind of just conceptualize. I would think it. I don't know. I think that whatever. But now people can visualize it because how many people are following me and how many people like my posts. How many people shared my posts and so you start to see it. So now it's like it has a numerical value to it, and it makes it even harder. I think the people who are in the box of people's opinion is because we have allowed ourselves to be compared to in that box.
Okay.
So when I was a pastor, as a pastor, when I let myself, I ain't gonna even put it on people, when I let myself be valued at other people's level, it was because I made their reality my reality.
Come on.
And I thought that those were the people, listen to me, write this down. I thought that was my target audience.
I love it.
I thought that it was my responsibility to make them like me. I thought it was my responsibility to get them to come to my church. I thought it was if they like me, it would increase my value because, listen to this, I'm going to use them to increase me.
Come on, Bishop. And we all do it. If not, we done it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah, you just.
I'm gonna use them to increase me, and I'm gonna let them use me to increase them. We becoming this currency of validation.
Come on, Jesus.
Only when you can step out of that currency of debt. It's only when you can step out of, because if you own me and my value, I own you. Guess what? Now I give you the right to counsel me.
Okay, and wait, time out. Wait, heart it up if you feel that. Heart it up if you feel that. Or put the number one. Like I feel that. Yeah, I'm a dialogue girl, so when I go live, I like the dialogue and know that you out there listening. That's your amen and heart it up and all that, because that was a mouthful, Bishop. That's a mouthful because, like, I'm almost about to cry because I know I've done that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've done that, especially when you create content on social media or when you're posting or whatever. Anyway, go ahead. That's good.
Who you used to follow, and some of y'all know her, and I'm not gonna bring her name out. And listen, she made a move. She made a bold move, and you can tell that she lived a lie for over a year because she didn't want to be canceled. She didn't want to lose her following, and her reality was who she was. So she spent the next year trying to build a new audience that would embrace who she was. Listen,
that's good.
When I let you increase my value, and vice versa, I decrease and increase your value. we own each other. We're literally slaves to each other's opinions. And listen, the danger part about being slaves of each other's opinion, God want to put you through, and
Mm-hmm.
God want to take you through cycles, but He can't because He know it'll break you.
Come on.
And literally, God is delaying developing you because you're controlled by somebody else's opinion.
Come
So
on.
I can't grow you, I can't develop you, I can't build you, I can't put you through. I want to put you through a season of drought, but drought will cause you to commit suicide. Cause you
Mm.
so listen. I got a few things here. I'm gonna throw out there
Okay.
as ways to come out of overcome people's opinion, and I'm
Okay.
gonna write these things down
I
and
love this. Wait, you got to park, let them break. I love to give principles. So here's the thing, y'all. When we give principles to give you a chance to process so that you can progress. That's the whole goal. If you know us, we love to give you things that you can use to be able to, because we can talk about, overcoming people's opinions, but we got to give you tools and,
got you.
and how to do that. So get ready. I know you're probably at on your way to work, whatever, but write them down on the canvas of your mind. But go ahead, Bishop. Yes,
And
right.
before I come on, I'm gonna tell you three things real quick that you need to be aware of in your home, because I think sometimes we get so caught up in doing life we forget to live. And so you need to be aware when your spouse is caught up in people's opinion. You gotta be aware when your spouse is caught up in people's opinion.
Mhm.
You gotta give your spouse the right to announce when you caught up in people's opinion.
Mm,
You have to. You have to, because if not, it'll become hypnotic. They'll
mhm.
literally see you and to get in this dark hole. And a lot of it you don't want to hear it. But you got to give somebody the right to call you out and let you know, hey, sweetheart. And we giving each other the right. We won't even know
And
each other. Go ahead.
I would even say even with friends, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? With because everybody's not married. I would even say with friends, you
Friends,
could also see
friends,
somebody
right.
you're close with and they value your opinion.
Yeah.
You gotta watch, pay attention. But go ahead, yeah.
And then you got to become aware of your children,
Come on, Glory.
because action allowed is action permitted. You got to notice, it's going beyond a fad. We always in the fads of shoes and stuff, but when you see the attitudes of your child shifting because of people's opinion, we've seen that in our home, and we've been trying to attack that demon for years on our
Mm-hmm.
babies, even the opinions we put on them.
Mm-hmm.
My baby came home one day and she was about to, almost like a suicidal mindset, because we thought that she should be top 10, and
Yeah.
that opinion, it weighed on her because maybe she didn't think she could do it. So listen, these are four things that I want you to do. I want you to teach your children. I want you to share to your spouse. The first thing, for you to overcome people's opinion, we got to get out of this cycle. We got to get out of this debt that we have with people. And number one, you got to know what God told you to do.
Right.
If God told you to get that car, you got to write it down somewhere. So you remind yourself, God told me to get that car. When I see everybody else driving something brand new, God told me to drive that car. God told me to move out of my apartment, out of my house that I couldn't afford, and downgrade into the apartment. God told me to walk away from my husband who was beating me and cheating on me and stuff like that. There's something God told me to do. When everyone else think you're crazy, everyone think that you're about to lose your mind, you have to write it down, make it plain, put it on reminder notes. So when you go through it, you got to tell yourself, this is what God told me to do. So you can talk yourself out of slipping back into doing what everybody else wants you to do. Number one, know what God told you to do. The second way that you break yourself from people's opinion. If I'm going too fast, baby, slow me down. The second way you hear me, baby?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the second way to overcome people's opinion, you have to be able to celebrate people and don't think you have to become them.
Right.
I would tell you, if you see people going through stuff that you like, man, stop and celebrate them. Have an intentional celebration. Girl, I want to call you and tell you I'm happy for you. Because if you celebrate them, it removes the responsibility of becoming them.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know how. I'm telling you, I intentionally celebrate pastors. I intentionally celebrate people making business moves. I intentionally, because me celebrating you is me elevating and valuing you without me feeling as though I got to follow you. When I don't celebrate you, I'm secretly trying to become you. So number one, know what God told you to do. Number two, celebrate people. And then number three, this is the most important one. This is the one we are starting to master as a Harden family. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself. Have your own celebration parties. Celebrate. You got your car. I'm gonna go ahead and have my own party. I don't need anybody to go ahead. This is what we don't know how to do. We don't know how to celebrate ourselves. We're gonna go out here. We're gonna celebrate ourselves. I teach my children, even my home. We noticed that when one kid would do something, another kid would do something, we wouldn't stop and celebrate each other, and it became foreign to celebrate each other. We celebrate our victories, and then, four and finally, step back if you feel as though you're getting pulled in. If you feel as though you're getting around people, and I feel like I gotta be them, I gotta do this here, I'm seeing stuff. Take a step back, and then start the cycle all over again. The old statement: rinse and repeat. You know what God told you to do? Celebrate people, celebrate yourself, and then step back. And you can't be away from people all the time. So you got to start trying to get back in there again. But you got to keep doing this cycle. If you don't do this cycle, you get caught back up. What do you think about that, baby?
No, and I think it's great information. I think, especially when it comes down to what God said about you. I want to say this because as you was talking, I was thinking, because even here's the thing though, when you know that God said it, God don't change His mind. And I
Yep.
think that's the thing, is learning that if God said it, God don't change His mind. And if God don't change His mind, make sure it doesn't cause confusion as well. Is you knowing that God said it, but if God said it, it ain't gonna cause confusion. It may cause confusion in your house, with the decision because you don't want to do it. But it's understanding that part. So I think that's very important because you got and if I can be real, you got people out here saying what God said, and it don't even, it's not even taking you to victory, it's taking you to chaos. And it's understanding that part. I think I think that because I done had so many people to say that God said, and then but it doesn't look like, it doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It's not, regardless. And in the end, you find out that it does not carry the fruits of what God said. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
But knowing that God said, you just got to know. I just want to put that out there because sometimes we can just move off of a feeling and a moment and miss the message of what God said. I hope that.
I think it's a problem. People getting what God said mixed up with what you think people think.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
and this is the
And
key.
that's why I think it's important to step back. Like
Yeah.
when you step back and you do the principles that you said to do, you get a chance to kind of find your own way. Because I never forget us stepping back when God told us to downsize. We couldn't go and get opinions from everybody else on what God said about us. And I think that's where I'm finding a lot of people that come and they'll say, well, what do you think about this that God told me to do? No, you don't have to ask nobody about that.
No.
Something that God told.
I,
That's
I can't stand that. And listen, you have got to recognize when you do that. If you get ready to make a move, and we used to do it. Listen, I'm not judging nobody. Everything we talking about now, we've been
we've
taught
done.
in the cycle. I know I get through preaching. And if you're an old member of New Destiny, if you're a new member of New Destiny, if you're new members you don't know me doing this, I would get through preaching, walk around. Hey, did y'all enjoy the sermon? Did y'all enjoy the sermon? If God tell me to do it, we come up with something called drop the mic.
And walk away.
Drop
And
the
let
mic.
that be it.
Walk away. And you got to notice it. You have got to listen. It's an addiction,
Mm-hmm.
and anybody with an addiction allow people. They recognize their patterns and their rhythms, and they allow people to call them out on it. Listen, we are addicted. We are addicted to people's opinions.
Come on. But I think the only way you do that, like you said, the steps that you said, um, remembering what God said,
What we got to
and,
celebrate.
but I gotta say that, man, God don't change His mind about what He said. And if He said it, He ain't changed His mind about it. And can't nobody else change your mind about it. And don't be trying to go get everybody else's opinion about what God said to you.
No,
They don't know what God said to you. But then also celebrating people, the importance of making sure you celebrate people. That way when it comes down to celebrating people and you celebrating yourself, it doesn't matter who validates you or celebrate you in the moment of what you're doing, how you're doing it, how you're moving. It does not matter. So it's learning that and then taking a step back to make sure that, okay, even if it's sometimes taking a break, for me, because I do stuff on social media, but I love power of scheduling. Come here. But I love that's another insider for marketers. But I understand the power of stepping back, and that's just not from that, but just from You know what people, especially when it, or grabbing a good book. Come here. I'm about to read it soon
Feeling
by
comparison.
Nona Jones. The what is it called?
Feeling,
Comparison.
feeling comparison.
Killing comparison. If you even got to get books like that so that you can suppress that spirit of comparison
Yeah.
that creeps in every now and then. I got to read that book really really soon because I'm starting to see a level that I want to go to, and I found myself looking at that person like, dang, how can I get there that quick? But my journey is not their journey, so I got to learn my journey for myself, but I also got to read great books that would allow me to go deeper so that when I do get there that I do not compare myself,
Yeah.
that I continue to keep going. So I think that part, a lot great information that I think is very important when it comes to the opinions of others is learning that who God created you to be is enough.
Yeah. And I'm gonna add one more because in the middle of this, so know what God said: celebrate people. In the
Mhm.
between celebrate people and celebrate yourself. Don't make people in debt to you to where you celebrate them. Now they owe you a celebration.
Hello and amen. Walls and lights
Yeah.
and computer.
Because you're
Yes,
gonna cycle all over again. Because now you're like, okay, well, I celebrate them. Now they owe me a celebration. I came to their woman party. Now they come to my one. No, no, no. I said
mm-mm,
celebrate yourself. I didn't say
period.
invite nobody to the party.
Mm-mm, they don't have to be invited.
If you can't have the first party, it wasn't for you. It was for the people you was gonna invite to the
Come
party.
here.
So I'm doing a real celebration party right now. If listen,
Lady Cole said that.
yeah,
Right, that part.
if not, if you can't have the first party, if you don't like it at all, but you waiting, I never forget we was getting our house built. This is transparent. This is so transparent.
Transparent moment, storytelling. Come on.
And this we loved the house when we went and looked at it. But while I was getting built, we
Ooh, that's so good.
we hated the house. Like people gonna say it's too small. People gonna say this. People gonna say that. You know, because we was looking at it. Oh Lord have mercy. This is so embarrassing. We
No,
bought
no, it's good though.
no, we bought it with our eyes. But while we was building it, we was building it with the eyes of folks that were driving by.
Come on.
And
But
we
but 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 here's the thing though. And I believe it was a great learning lesson
yeah.
because we both got so convicted. It
Wow.
was like, how can you be so ungrateful that I have turned this thing? So it was like the Lord ate us up for that
Man.
because goes back to the opinions of others. And we were, go ahead, Bishop. I don't want to go and tell your tip.
Oh, so we was literally building it, and when we were building it, I think because somebody said to us one day, we was happy. We were loving our house. We didn't care nobody think. And we
Mhm.
invited the wrong person.
Yeah, I
we,
almost threw this whole coffee. Come here.
we invited the wrong person. We didn't even invite him.
Wait, let me pause and part. Keep your thought. I gotta say this. Sometimes what happens is you invite the wrong person to the party during your celebration.
Man,
And you gotta make sure that you don't invite, when you do invite the wrong person to the party, you gotta be able to know this is not the person I need to celebrate with on my next level. You gotta know without a doubt when you invite the wrong. Can somebody say don't invite the right person? Just
yeah.
type that in. Invite the right
Recognize when
person.
they wrong.
Yes. And now don't knock them. You just know you invited the wrong person. And it's okay. Go ahead, Bishop. I'm
I don't
sorry.
think we invited them. I think they just popped up to our party.
They
Well,
did.
out there and looking at it and say, is it gonna be big enough, baby?
Yeah, they did. We didn't invite them. I remember we did not invite, but we
That's,
allowed them to
that's
come.
and they were just speaking honestly. It wasn't no problem against them. They were just they literally legitimately want to know what's gonna be big enough. And I'm thinking to myself now, I'm like, is everyone thinking that? Is it big enough? And it's like somebody took my glasses off and put the world glasses on. And I looked at my house from the eyes of the world from that on out. And it's like I couldn't enjoy it.
And
I,
that's why I love, I'm sorry, because you got me excited. That's why I love this statement that I've always made. See yourself through God's eyes and not people. And that's where we make the statement, the mistake of seeing our life through the lenses of someone else's. That's why I tell people all the time, if you want to get to know me, don't get to know me through the lens of somebody else, because their experience with me is totally different than your experience with me. But I promise you, if you see through their lens, baby, they're going to tell you some stuff.
yeah.
But you got to be willing to see yourself, see your purpose, your life, your destiny, your dreams, your house, your car, your marriage, whatever, through the lens of God, not people.
This is why weight loss journeys don't last long, because we on a journey and it's not happening fast enough. And we think people are judging you, like, how you working out and you ain't lost weight and you trying to get it too fast. So get what we do, we go get surgery. Nothing gets somebody to get surgery. I'm just
No,
being
no.
real.
Right.
Somebody out there got the surgery because it wasn't happening fast enough. Because we wanted to hear it. And when I am gonna say this, man, I'm gonna say
Bishop,
it.
don't, I don't know what you're finna say. Wait,
Say it.
we live.
I'm gonna say it live. I don't care who get mad at me. It's more plastic surgery happening than ever in my life I've ever seen from people who can't afford it, because they trying to hurry up and get the money to look like what everybody wants them to see. And people are dying. I wouldn't even go in there this morning, but I'm gonna go ahead and go there. A young lady just died who got a mommy makeover, who didn't need a makeover. Let's not a mommy makeover, because we're trying to hurry up and give people what they're looking for.
But you know what? I'm gonna say this. Like, okay, because I'm the middle person. So here I go. And it goes back to that. That's what she wanted. You know what I'm saying? It's I know, Bishop. Come here.
Okay, I'm gonna stop. We're
Okay,
gonna
because that's I feel like this. If this is your decision, that's your decision. That's between you and God.
But
Everybody has a choice.
It cost her life.
I know, and I hate that. But everybody has a choice.
No, that's gonna be another discussion we're gonna talk about.
Okay.
We're gonna bring somebody on and talk about one day these body makeovers. And I think it's a good topic, because I think people need to really hear what different people, because there's different opinions.
I be want me on body makeover. No, I'm just playing. No, I'm not though, for real. But no, I'm not. But I get it. But I understand that it's people's choice, and if that's a decision that they made, that's between them and the Lord. Like, let that be. But and I know it's just being safe with it. Okay, we'll talk about something else, because I believe different. I don't know.
And that's why we say we're real people having real topics with a real relationship.
Yeah.
Relationship. So, but that's what we want to get to.
But you're telling the truth, though. I hate that happened.
And like this here, if you're doing it because of you, and I will say this here, and I will, if you're doing it because of you and something you want, that's one thing.
That's
but
different.
You're doing it because you're trying to meet the expectations of people. Because I've seen it happen where you go out and you get all this done, then people don't like it. Now you hate the fact you got the surgery.
Right.
You're gonna do whatever. I will say this here: whatever you do it because you want it.
Right.
If you want to get tattoos, if you want to get, it's one thing I love about people who do get tattoos. People don't like this, but now we got to go, because I know everybody got to get to work. But they're making their own statements. They're speaking out loud on their own, and whether you like me or not, I'd rather see that than people go out there and do stuff because everybody else wants you to.
Right.
That's weird. So listen, overcome.
Yeah, our baby both of our babies when he got one, and that's what they wanted to do. And I know my baby posted it on social media. And she was just like, "Your daddy." People were asking, "Your daddy let you?" Yeah, he was there with me. He the one that took me to go get it done. Like, everybody has a choice, and we are not. And I said something on my TikTok the other day, is that as leaders, we got to realize that, number one, we can't control people. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's gonna be that person's choice. Number two, we just got to make sure that we're being the example of what Christ looked like. And doing everything that we can to walk in the characteristics of God, but most of all, that we are listening, to others. And I know it took our baby sitting down, listening. We had to listen to her and understand why she wanted to go get the tattoo. If she was to go get surgery, she would have to sit down. We would listen to her and kind of figure out why. And so it gives you kind of open mind to what people are doing. Not that I want my baby to do that, but I'm just saying, it'll give people an open mind. But yeah.
And I want to go back and say this, because I don't want it to become part of the villain of the world when I just got to talk about people's opinion. So it could be said, well, now I made an opinion about somebody getting plastic surgery. And that's why I want to come back and say, that's why you want to do what you want to do.
That part.
And if I affected you to convict you that fast, did you really do it for you? Or if I convince you not to, what you doing for you?
Right.
So regardless, I'm not allowed to, even as a pastor of a church, as a spiritual leader, I am not allowed to make opinions on you.
Come on, Glory.
I don't care what pastor do it. As a pastor of a church, I'm only allowed to preach the unadulterated word of God, and you take it in
and live it. And even though I did a joking, I know that's not what I'm going to do. But even living it, you know what I'm saying, is one of those, just being the example. And I'm not gonna push my convictions on you. And I don't want you to push your conviction on me. Your conviction is your conviction. My conviction is mine. And we all be willing to grow in this thing and go to the next level. But it's my opinion, not yours.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. So
Well,
great conversation, Bishop.
that was a topic that's one I feel in my heart that we need to kind of talk about, because I feel like it's a worldwide. It's the old pandemic, and it's still here. It hadn't left. As
Yeah.
long as we're running side by side with COVID, it's overtaking people, in rapid rates. It's causing people, to lose themselves at rapid rates. And so take yourself back. Take yourself back. I want everybody to pause this morning when you get off this call. Whenever you get a chance, I want you to pause this morning, and I want you to get a quiet time. I want you to, and that's the hardest thing. I think that's the next topic. We need one of the topics we put down is know how to handle quiet time.
I love it.
Yeah, and the importance of quiet time. But take your quiet time, and step back and take a look at things and say, you know what? Look at a few areas of your life, especially the ones that you're struggling the most. Why did I start this?
Right.
What was my reason for starting this?
Mm-hmm.
Reset moment. I'm telling you, my worst time, I get a reset moment. Why did I start this? If I started this because everyone else did, maybe I need to evaluate my next step. If I didn't start this for me, maybe I need to figure out how do I get out of this, because this here is one of the most unhealthiest things I've been in. I'm not happy. So make
Right.
me a reset moment. And then while you resetting yourself, as people do things, celebrate them so you don't have to become them.
Right.
And as you're resetting and you're trying to reevaluate, and you finally figure out, okay, the things that you are doing because God told you to do it,
Mm-hmm.
celebrate your small victories.
Yes.
Celebrate every small victory
Yeah.
on your own. Don't invite nobody to the party.
Right.
Nobody at all. Don't even invite your spouse to the party. My wife had to learn. She had to take her own growth journey. Now, if I said
Yes.
I just joined the party,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't invited anyways. Because
Right.
even your spouse can take away your joy of your journey. I've done it before. So don't invite nobody
To the
to
party.
the party.
I want to say this. We had a conversation, and this person is on, and we talked to them, and they started a journey of taking care of them after experiencing a blow in life. And if I keep talking, you'll kind of know who I'm talking about. And they started working out and all that. And we told them this, man, do it on your own. Don't do it with nobody else.
Invite
Because
nobody.
your journey is your journey. If I could tell you anything about journey, is it's almost like getting a perm. If you know me, I'm gonna say this real quick: getting a perm, sitting down in that chair, taking the time out to go through the process. It may burn, it may hurt, it may make you feel a certain way, but it's learning this is that when you get through with the process, you know that at the end of the day, that hair gonna be slick and laid. So guess what? Why not go through the journey, even though it may hurt? Because
Yeah.
on the other side of that journey, you're gonna see a new heal you, a real heal you, and it's just different. Every layer of life has a journey,
Yeah.
and being willing to go down the journey for you and not for others. So I
Yeah.
think that's very important to be able to do that. Oh Lord.
That's it. That's it. That's it. So just take that step back, evaluate it, look at your life one thing at a time.
Yeah.
And if you ever catch yourself doing something that you're not happy with, pray about how to exit. Pray it, because you won't enjoy it. You won't enjoy it. And if
Right.
you catch yourself adjusting for
Mhm.
people, stop. So
Right.
listen, don't invite nobody to your celebration party, but give few people the license to announce your shift when you start trying to compare to people.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we do this, y'all, it's gonna be a life journey. I've been detoxing now for over 5 years from my addiction to people's opinion. I'll be and listen. Every now and then, I test myself, and I see, maybe my wife passed me a phone, and show me something, and if I feel that urge to compare myself, I step away. I don't have time. I have too many things I need to do to get caught up in what people want me to do. So can we stop and pray real quick, baby? Over anyone that's on this line right now is really dealing with that. And I want you to help me pray. You pray for me. Pray first, and then I come back and pray.
Yes. Father God, I decree and declare, and we're going to come back and answer the question. So stay with us.
Yeah.
Father, I decree and declare in the name of Jesus, God, for that person, that individual, God, that is taking on the opinions or validations of other people, God, that they will be able to trust the gift and the decisions that you have given them to do. God, I decree and declare like never before, God, that you would strengthen, you would make them whole again. God, I pray, God, that even as they start the journey or even while they're on the journey, that
Yes,
you
Lord.
would allow them to see themselves through your eyes and not people. God,
Yes.
reminding them that they are a product of your grace and your mercy, that there are going to be filling moments, there are going to be mess up moments, but every lesson is worth it.
Yes.
Father, I say thank you for that individual under the sound of my voice that's watching this or watching the replay. God, I pray that the healing journey will begin and begin now.
Yes, Lord.
Now, in the name of Jesus, God, that even as we're going on our healing journey, God, that you would even allow the things that we've experienced and said today, God, that it will start the journey now.
Yes, Lord.
Lord, we say thank you for that individual. God, we thank you for the gift that you've given them. We thank you, God, for the exposure, for their experience, God, that they will become like revelations, that they would be able to tell their testimony through the everything that they've been through and be able to change someone else's life because of what they've been through.
Yes.
Show them that it was all worth it. Show
Yes.
them that their pain was a part of their process. Show them that their process is a part of their purpose, God, and allow them to push out the things that you call them to do in this season. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. And I seal that. I seal that.
Yeah.
Name of Jesus. So you say you have some questions?
Yeah, we have a question. And then what I want to do is I'm going to answer this question. And so what we're going to start doing, I'll kind of stay with us because I'm going to tell you what we want to do next after this. So the question is, what is a good book to start a healing journey? If you everybody else that's on here that's still with us rocking out, if you have a question, go ahead, put it in the chat really, really quick. But what is a good book to start a healing journey?
Oh man, I'm trying to think of a couple that we've read. Hmm.
I'm gonna say mine. There's power in your pain when you learn to speak life into it.
That,
That's a good book.
that,
I would also say Success from the Inside Out by Nona Jones. When I was in a place of depression, a place of trying to identify who I was, that was a great book to read. Her story is life changing. I believe that's a great book. What do you have, Bishop? Because I know we both readers. So,
I think one of my favorite ones I can think of right now is Failing Forward. Uh,
mm,
Failing Forward is not really a healing book. It's more of a a direction book, kind of getting you focused on your journey. That's one of the ones I can think of right now when it comes to this topic. Failing Forward, realizing that it's okay to fail. Failing
yeah.
is not just an option; it is inevitable.
Who is that by, Bishop?
I can't think of the name. I think it's
I don't know the name either.
I want to say it's Failing Forward by. I'm looking right at it right now. I can't see the author on it, but Failing Forward. I want to say it's. Yeah, I'm looking right now. Hang on, let me grab it.
Okay. I don't know who it's by, but I think John Maxwell. Is it John Maxwell?
John C. Maxwell.
John C. Maxwell. That's who it's by. Telling forward.
Failing Forward. It's a good book. I mean, it deals with embracing mistakes. In the world we're in right now, mistakes are not an option. You're not allowed to have you're not allowed to fail. And this book say, hey, fail. And I'm always reminded of a baby taking his first steps. A baby took his first step and never walked. We were just excited because the baby took one step and failed. My baby walked. No, he didn't. They fell forward. But guess what? They didn't fall backwards.
Come on.
So
They kept going.
next question.
That's it. That's all we have.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Katie, for your question. We appreciate it.
Hey,
I thank y'all for rocking out. I hope y'all like this. This was us trying it out. So join us every first Monday. We're gonna try. Okay, I want to say that because Bishop has a busy schedule. So first,
I'm gonna be if I gotta be walking on a plane having this conversation with a couple
you're gonna be here.
men, I'm gonna jump on.
Awesome. So every first Monday of the month, we want to kind of boost your month out by doing this coffee conversation where we're going to be talking about different topics. But this is what we want from you, for everyone that's watching now or watching the replay. Go send us your questions that you may have for the next conversation that we're going to have. Again, we talk about life, we talk about love, we talk about marriage, we talk about ministry, and we talk about money. So you're going to kind of get all of this New Destiny family. I know you always get church on Sunday morning, but we wanted to create a space for outside of just Sunday morning, but also join y'all on the first of the month, as well as other people that are following our other pages. So when you follow Tanya Harden Ministry, you really following Clyde and Tanya Harden. I need to say that, Clyde and Tanya Harden Ministry, but you're following me. So I want you to send those questions to this email address, Tanya Harden at right here, admin@tanyaharden.com. Send those. I'll get those so you can send those to me.
Even topics that y'all like to hear us talk about.
Yeah, topics. We want to know the topics that you would like to hear. I know I have a first lady bishop. She sent me some. They sent me some topics that they want you to talk about in the pastor's wife connection. So get ready for that. This month, actually, we're going to be discussing that in pastor's wife connection. So send us your topics. Send us the things that you want to hear and you want us to talk about while we go live, 6:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the platforms, whatever platform you're watching on, that's where we're at. On these platforms, we'll also share this on the Instagram New Destiny page after we download it. But thank y'all for rocking out, and my podcast later, not now, but later on. So thank you guys for rocking out. Thank y'all for being a part of this with us. Any last words, husband?
No, I'm just excited about it. I think this is something that we need. Someone told us before, we need to be a voice out there. And this is a way to be a spiritual voice out there to kind of deal with those mental blocks. We want to break down those mental blocks so you can become the best you. So one conversation at a time.
So make sure you like, man. Make sure you share. Make sure you share this with somebody. Share this on social media and rock out with us next month at 6:30 a.m.
Hey, real quick, if you're a church leader and you have church members, we're having an awesome workshop called the Jethro Project. Jethro Project. I don't want to go out to details here, but if you're interested to know about the Jethro Project, where leaders go to get help, that's the motto. The Jethro Project, where leaders go to get help. Email us, and we'll send you more information about it.
Yeah, I think we had a brand, the brand right here. Bishop, you can get that code right there. Damn. Come on here, we getting tech savvy.
You got the whole flyer on there?
Yep, got it right here.
Jethro Project.
On your wheel.
So if you want to know that, screenshot it, take a QR.
Wait a minute, I gotta move something. Hold on.
Oh, you good?
Hey, y'all. Give me a second. I'm still learning this.
Take the comment down.
Huh?
Take your comment down.
Yeah, I'm trying to take it. There we go. All right, give me 1 second. Bam. Money wheel.
Jethro Project.
Jethro Project.
So it's where leaders go to get help. We're needing help in churches, and we need your help. And so scan the QR code if you're interested in it. We'd love to have you. We'd love to have you. I promise you, it'll be worth your time and your energy to come to this. All right, that's all I got, baby.
All right, thank y'all for rocking out, and all of you that showed up. Thank you. This let us know we're doing the right thing, and so we thank you for rocking out. Get ready to rock out with us again. Thank you for watching the replay. Until next time, man, we're changing our mind to change the world one at a time. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.